All right, what is up, guys? It is Uncle Bob, and welcome to the channel. Welcome back, guys. How's it going? We are back here in the Dadmobile, and we are here in daylight time for more One Piece. We're here to continue along on our we're here to continue Companion Piece. That is what we're here for. Today, as it says in the title, we are here for episode 281. And as always, this is a watch along. This is not a reaction, so there's going to be no audio or video in any of the four corners. If you want something of mine to go watch, if you enjoy the sound of my sultry voice, go watch any of the video games I play. Sometimes I talk, sometimes I don't talk as much. Kind of depends on what I'm doing. You know, right now it's summertime, so a lot of times during the day when I record, my kids are all around. So, you know, a lot of times I'm stopping, starting, taking care of them. Whereas, during other parts of the year, when they're in school, I get to talk a little bit more. But if you want to see me actually doing something, go watch that. If not, if you're not going to watch One Piece with me, then, I don't know why you're clicking onto this. Because I'm not playing any sort of DMCA games, any copyright games with Toy and Funimation. It's not happening. It's not what I want to do. I could learn to edit, but, I'd rather not. Especially when, again, most of the things that I like doing is playing old video games. This is just to be on camera for some reason. I don't even know the purpose. But ultimately, I say it most episodes, especially, in the last year. It's dangerous to go alone. One Piece is it is more than 1,100 episodes. And, that can be a very daunting thing to just pick up. So sometimes for something like that, you just need a friend to watch it along with you. And that's what I'm here for. Now, I do believe, I don't know for sure, but 2 episodes ago, we had a filler episode that was mainly of Luffy and Shanks, like of his childhood and why Luffy became the way that he is, just like the first few episodes. And then the episode that we just watched on Sunday was a flashback of Zoro and Usopp joining the crew. And obviously, I can reasonably say that these are filler episodes. I'm going to take a hard assumption and say that these episodes were not in the manga. They were not doing flashbacks to the early parts of the show right here and now. So if these little recap filler episodes are not for you, well then, unfortunately, this episode is probably not for you. But I am going to watch it because that is basically the journey that every One Piece fan had to take. And I'm going to take it along with every bump along the way, filler or not. Because the way I figured it, if I could watch all of Naruto with all of the filler, then I can watch One Piece. Because Naruto is egregious with its filler. It really is. At least in Shippuden, I guess both of those shows, as a quick aside, from my experience. The original Naruto had 2 years worth of filler in only 220 episodes. But all of that filler was basically saved for, after the Sasuke Naruto fight, and then, the last episode where, the time skip goes. All the filler was in there. So at very least, listen, if you're going to take through the daunting task of watching through all of the filler, at least the original Naruto had the decency to put it all in one block, and for the most part, you're good. And when you can watch it at your own speed, it's really not that bad. And I will say that it gives you a lot of connection to a lot of the side characters in Naruto that, because Naruto is not written like One Piece is, and a lot of the side characters are not getting constant love in that show like they are in this, manga and show. It makes certain payoffs in Shippuden actually hit a lot harder because you have more time with a lot of these side characters. In Shippuden, I actually found my last rewatch of it, because a couple of years ago I rewatched through the whole thing. it took me like a couple years. But I basically watched like an episode a day almost. Not every day, but yeah, I basically ended up watching an episode a day for like a couple years. And at least with Shippuden, I found that the actual content of its filler was better than the original. The problem with Shippuden is when they decided to employ their filler, they would put filler in some of the most nonsense spots. At very least, like the Tsukiyomi filler arcs, those kind of made sense. And actually, I really enjoy the content of those. But here with this, I can understand why these episodes were probably not well liked at the time, especially because we just had Robin's like, I want to live speech, and, you know, now they cut to filler. I get where that would annoy some people. But at very least, you know, it's not like Shippuden, in which it would have waited for that filler to do it like right as Lucci and Luffy were about to start their fight, like for real. Because that's what Naruto liked to do. It liked to put in their filler in the dumbest places. But regardless, I know this is going to be filler probably today. And you know what? I'm here for it nonetheless. If you're not, well, then I get it. Don't worry about it. But if you are looking to just watch an episode of One Piece, let's get it started. 3, 2, 1, start. Oh, let's try this again, because we're gonna skip the toy animation, the kawaii girl here for Funimation. All right, see if we can get right. All right, here we are. We got it. 3, 2, 1, start. Wealth, fame, power. Gold Roger. But it is nice to get, like, at least with Luffy, getting this reminder of, you know, how far the crews come together. So that way, you know, you kind of get reinforced what this fight here for Robin really means. Like, Luffy had basically everything bred in him as a pirate to value his friends and his companions. Because, I mean, that's what Shanks did. You know, Shanks was, like Luffy did with Bellamy, Shanks was willing to sit there and get ridiculed, have drinks poured on him and everything else. And I don't think Necky Boy, I saw him down there. Okay. Sorry, I had a thought in the way there was a bit of glass showing in the pipe. I thought that was a crack, but there was not, and we are all good. But yeah, no, now I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah, you know, Luffy was, you know, Shanks is probably over here with a near, you know, $1 billion, or I don't know how much his bounty must be, but, you know, he's basically doing the, there we go. Yeah, we got to start off with the drawbridge again. Got to do that whole thing. But yeah, Shane's walking around with, is like one of the end bosses of the whole universe, basically, strength-wise. And some guy worth a third of what Luffy ends up being worth after Arlong is over there picking fights. And he's just like, bro, I do not care. Oh, it's so hot in this car. Nami's world map. What, are we skipping Sanji? We're not getting a flashback of Sanji? That's weird. Breaking glass and furniture just to rest is a bit much. Some captain something or other. He seemed like kind of a liar. That is actually the last thing he is. Was this a moment in the actual Arlong arc? I don't remember them having a moment like this. She's like... She's like, I thought I could leave them behind. Bro, you guys have been traveling together for like 5 minutes. Which, to be fair, is all Luffy needs to, like, fight on your behalf. Maybe I remember this now. Listen, I know it's a meme about, like, in the community now with, like, which characters will get Conqueror's Haki towards the end. But, listen, I wouldn't mind if Nami got Conqueror's Haki. Watched her adoptive mother die and then walked into the guy who killed her's fucking stronghold and was like, I'll work for you. Pay me, I'll get you money. You let me buy my shit back. That's some queen-minded shit right there. Her arms are animated so weird. Yep. Arlong was, the whole time, was just like, listen, just because they stole your money, I didn't break my promise to you. I told you if you give me the money, I'll let you buy the village back. Well, I didn't steal your money, so gather up the 100 mil and you can do it. Yeah, but if you run off, we torch everything. I don't know about the whole village knowing about it, but at least Gensan. Like, I could imagine him doing that. Like, never saying anything to her just so that way if Nami ever wanted to run away, she wouldn't feel like she was owed anything to the village. Don't you dare play the part that I think you're about to play. What a fake plastic smile, and everyone sees it. Just gonna give her a hug. I'm just letting her know, like, listen, you did your job. You did everything you could. We let you fight this good fight. Now it's our turn. Gen-san says it's time for business. They wanted her to have the freedom to leave and get away from here. Grabbing the knife, knowing full well she'll never rip it out of his hand. The first real gut punch for me in One Piece. Sanji's farewell at the Baratier came close. That one came close. But this one really did it. Having music play here isn't as powerful, but it's also it's a redo. You know, it's allowed to not be the original. Luffy says, "That's enough, baby girl. That's enough." And Luffy's character's been pretty consistent in every arc in this kind of attitude. Like I've said before, he forces people to be a part of their own liberation. He doesn't come in like a proper, superhero, save the day and then peace out. Like, he sees what Nami's going through. Like, he didn't hear the story, but he doesn't care. He can see what's going on and more or less has an idea. And he knows Nami needs her. He needs Nami. But all he needed was this right here. Luffy, help me. That's all he needed. That was it. That was all he needed. And that's how the man does it. Not as good as the original song that plays here. This feels more like a typical, like, anime walk-up theme. Still sounds like a One Piece song, but like hearing the little drums, the little bongo drums beat up. That's what sets it off right there. Oh yeah, which one of you is Arlong? That's what's even better about the whole thing. But yeah, that's what's even better about that whole thing. He didn't even know which one was even fucking Arlong. And he didn't care. Alright, we're going to pause this real quick. We're going to pause it. Right there. We're pausing with Nami staring straight up. I've only been wearing one headphone. I didn't realize I had my good headphones right here. These are the ones I have to use to record because one of the headphones doesn't work, but luckily the microphone still works, which is good. I don't need the microphone now, though. That's for gaming. Oh, double ear sound. That's great. Yep. And Arlong over here wants to use her skill as his ambition. Not his own skill for his own ambition. Her skill for his ambition. Use. Autonomy seems to matter more to Luffy than anything else. You know, same as he told Robin, listen, you want to die, you can die. But you're gonna do that over here with us because there's a good chance us getting out of here, we might just die. We might just die trying to get out of here. So listen, if you want to die anyway, why die over there when you could die over here? All you have to do is make the choice. Especially because he knows that's what they really want. He knew here that Nami was overwhelmed. All she needed to do was just give the word. Ask. Luffy won't help, really, unless you ask him. Which is, like, that part is necessary for people. Like, you have to want the thing that you actually want. You have to say the thing that you actually want. And for, like, far in the future for Marineford, just now that makes me think of, you know, how when, you know, spoilers, because I know what happens. When Ace dies, you know, that was the same thing with Garp. You know, if Ace would have told Garp, help me, I want to live, we all know what Garp would have actually done. He's a monkey D. If he would have been asked to help, that would have been all he needed. That battle axe. And listen, I don't care what people say, this at least has armament hockey. And since they didn't think to, like, since Oda might not have thought about it, I like the way that it's kind of employed where you only get to see the hockey once Luffy can see it. Once he trains and becomes aware of it, then you get to see it. But before that, you don't see it because he doesn't see it. Which is a good way for the author to, you know, write himself out of a little retcon issue. But, you know, That's one of those things that, like, listen, it's good enough for me. Luffy in front of the sun, bathed in light. Tell your girl. Tell the navigator. But that's what Luffy does for his friends. You tell him you need help, he will crush an entire criminal enterprise all around you just to make sure you can go free. Oh, hey, we're getting more snippets of the sea train. Is that Kokoro? Is that her name? I don't know why I'm blanking. And I like how we go back from the older animation to the newer animation. Go from like 97 to 2006. And to be continued. There it is. Alright, guys. Yep, that is it for 281. Another filler episode. I'm just going to click on 282. I'm just going to see if that's going to be a Sanji episode, or are we skipping Sanji? Because that would feel weird. Because I was going to say it'll just do it in the order that it goes to. Yep, I see, yep. I saw cook hats. That's all I need. Okay, so next time is going to be Sanji's episode. Okay, I mean, I guess I know why they did it in the order they did it in. Because I guess Nami technically was a part of, like, the group traveling first. But Sanji was a formal member of the crew first. So, you know, it is what it is. Granted, I guess if you're, now I lost track of what I was about to say. Sorry, it's getting dark and cloudy out. I want to make sure I was hearing a motorcycle and not a siren. Yeah, no, it's just that, that's what I was going to say. I was going to say, that to be fair, I guess, you become a member of the crew when Luffy tells you you're a member of the crew. So, yeah, that is going to be it for this episode. I'm just pulling into the farther part of the driveway now that I don't have to worry about being connected to the Wi-Fi. But yeah, I'm ready to keep watching this. That means we still got at very least a, Sanji episode and a Chopper episode. Maybe Robin will have one of her own. I'm not sure if she'll get one. I wouldn't mind if we did, though. Just seeing a little bit of, you know, maybe her interactions in Alabasta. Maybe getting to see a little bit of her with Crocodile. See a little bit of her while she was with the group fighting in Skypiea. I don't know why I couldn't think of the Land in the Sky. One of the very few times you'll catch me drinking a soda, let alone a big one like this. I'm not even gonna finish this shit. Jesus. Over the past 3 years, I've cut out a lot of soda. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the day, guys. Stay cool, stay fun. Yeah, I guess if these filler episodes are not your thing, which, let's face it, these videos do not get that many views, so it's probably no one's cup of tea. just hop in a week or so or whenever these episodes are done. I have no idea. I don't know how long they're going to continue for. I don't know what episode. I would imagine 284 might be the first one back, maybe 283, but I don't know. I'm just watching 2 episodes a week like I've always watched. So till then, guys, peace.